What is cracking, lads? We are here with part 5 out of 6 of our combine review. We are almost done at the end of the tunnel. I made $439 on this day. I did make a little bit more initially, but I did try to pass the combine with one final trade. Didn't work out, but that's okay because I set myself up for the Friday to finally finish the combine. So on this day, there was 8:30 news, red folder, of course, so I stayed clear of any trades at that time as usual. There was only orange folder at 1 o'clock, so that doesn't really matter to me. So hopping on the chart, I did try making a video earlier and I restarted, so I'm just going to keep the stuff I had charted, but we're going to walk through it again like normal. So 8:30 news comes out. This is what we're looking at. We do have this bullish displacement, but you'll see it's going to soon get ran through, as action does when it's just too suspicious. So this buy side to me definitely felt manufactured because that 8:30 jump is not what I would consider natural price action. So, you know, letting this play out until market open, you're going to see that we start to kind of push lower. Again, we have been running it up so much the past few weeks, that really there's nothing for us to do here except finally wait for us to push low. If we're going to push up higher, then again we're going to take this buy side and it's going to be clear as day that we're still here to take longs. But if we are truly going to push lower, then we're probably going to blast through this low. We're probably going to go even lower. So yeah, this is kind of just our pre-market low. We're going to watch out for this, see if it gets broken. If it does, then we're probably in a good position to take a short. Right here, boom, boom. Right, so continuing on with the action. So what am I looking for here? So as I wrote earlier, we have very good bearish displacement. That's a 5-minute and a 1-minute within. This is a big 5-minute, a 1-minute within. We're not even touching in. I wish we did because that would be a good spot for me to take an initial trade. Because this is nice into discount. I would not be taking this, this as the trade. I think it's a little bit too low. Maybe even with this leg, still the discount starts on this 1 minute, so I'm not going to even consider that. Sometimes market conditions allow you to make trades like that, but for me, I'm always going to play it safe because it increases the probability of my trade being a winning one. So it's not about how many trades can you take as soon as possible. It's about how long can you wait for the right trade that's going to guarantee you money. So we have a high here, a low. We do have a lower high, so all we need to see is that lower low, especially breaking that pre-market low is going to be really good news for us. We're definitely in a short mindset once we see that get broken. Here's another opportunity to take a trade. We have a leg here, discount is up here. Again, this is just barely tapping into discount. I don't want to take a trade off that. I'd want to see it touch these fair value gaps because we have yet another 5-minute with a 1-minute within, which would have been really nice for a short. I would have absolutely taken a short here, targeting, this high. So a nice little 13 risk here, maybe just a tad bit higher. And then we can go for our 39 points right there. So this would have been a beautiful trade to take, but you're going to see that we did not have the opportunity to get in here. We are just so bearish. At least we have very good confirmation that it's time to go short. So again, we retrace again, but not to the point where I want, unfortunately. We can write this low here. So we are finally seeing that we are obviously in a bearish trend. So we took a trade at 10:30. So that's going to be our first trade of interest here. Again, I'm looking for shorts, but it's just so aggressive. Even on this next leg here, we're not getting any chance. This one actually does come into discount, a really nice discount. So I think this was actually the trade that I missed out on, unfortunately. But the only reason I didn't take it was because I didn't see us go into this zone here. I didn't see us touch into this fair value gap, which is what I would have definitely taken. I would have definitely done this. Again, targeting our high. The only reason I'm waiting for us to go up so high is because the market is being more aggressive with the drops. I'm expecting it to be more aggressive with the retrace. I don't play games with that. I'm not trying to blow my account out. So again, 13 points of risk, 39 very easy to hit. In conditions like these, I should learn from this trading day that when the market is so aggressive, it can justify me bending those rules a bit so that I can go a little bit lower. As you can tell, there actually is a fair value gap here that does hold, that I'm now just seeing. So this actually was the trade I missed, and I should have been able to see that this past action didn't even tap into our discount, right? So we're so aggressive going bearish that I should be able to make an exception here and say the fact that we're hitting the 0.618 is probably already really good for us. So instead of me trying to target this high, I can instead target just that last Fibonacci section. So 11 points of risk here would have actually been just fine in this case. In targeting this is a really good risk to reward trade. I think this would have been a trade I should have considered, honestly, because we don't even retrace after this. Actually, we do retrace pretty nicely. And another opportunity we would have actually had is this. We have a fair value gap here, right? Gets inversed. And then on top of that, we have another. Actually, this is not a fair value gap. So this just gets inverse, but we also have displacement down through that fair value gap. So this is kind of doubles in my mind. And this would be a good spot to take a trade if we hold here and then bounce down and then maybe retrace one more time. But that's already after missing it, right? So like, for example, if I missed this trade, right, even though I should have been in here, right, my risk is not going to even be touched. I'm basically guaranteed profit getting in here. Even if I miss that, I see that we have a bearish displacement that gets displaced through. So that's pretty good for an inverse for me. So the fact that we touch up one more time, that's really giving me a golden opportunity to get in on this inverse, right? Because we're dropping down here. I know that we're having some resistance, but overall, I can tell that we're going to reverse. And if you actually look even closer, going to the 5 minute, there is a massive SMT forming. This SMT is going to absolutely spell the doom for long buyers here. This SMT is absolutely diabolical. So just seeing this here, I'm thinking that maybe I missed that. And I'm really sad that I did, because just seeing this massive SMT and then again seeing this small little fair value gap holding so well farther into discount than has been shown all day, I really did miss a golden trade here. And I could have even put this take profit way lower, but again, I'm not being greedy. But this was really a free trade that I definitely missed out on. And even if I got this trade in, this would be a good spot for a runner as well. So we can put the runner here at the break even mark, and we can even go for a nice lower displacement, which would be a little hard to find, but I'm sure that it would be somewhere. So like this kind of low would be a really good runner for me, I think. I think a runner like that would be pretty reasonable, right? Just practicing, thinking, how would I do it if I try setting up, scaling myself into a trade? That's kind of what I've been thinking of so far, something like that. But anyways, this was really the trade that I missed out on. Pretty sad to see that now on second glance. But again, we're reviewing for a reason. And then here you can see that we are just going to absolutely dump. Big old dump. And this was what? How many minutes? Just a few minutes. 10-10, 10-minute trade, complete banger. Unfortunately, we missed that, but that's what we're here for. So SMT is complete now. We are just totally moving bearish. Crazy drop. Crazy, crazy, crazy drop. So the next thing I can look for here is a retracement into these zones. That's the next best time for me to take a short. But because the market is so aggressively downwards, this is a moment where I say, you don't want to be buying longs at all today, right? But if you can recognize that the end of a move just occurred, as long as you're getting a long in before here, right? And as long as you're sure that you're able to get along, because sometimes it does this, right? And then it just drops right back down. So you have to really, really be careful. And your trade has to be really, really quick. The only reason this is a long at 10:30 even sounds reasonable is because it was literally for 1 minute, and my risk to reward was probably small, right? So this is a pure scalp incoming likely. So again, we drop even more. So this is exactly what I mean. You're not sure to take a long here yet. You're not sure to take a long here yet. When are we sure to take a long? It's going to be when we see this, right? We see a low formed, we see a high formed, a higher low, a higher high, right? So this was the time that I was ready to take a long, and I definitely took it after seeing this displacement get held just a bit. I think I should have waited for one more fair value gap to be confirmed, but I think because of the fact that I really missed this drop, I really felt like I was missing out probably, and I probably just jumped into the long that I saw get held because I mean pretty much every bullish fair value gap would be disrespected if we were still going to dump lower in the moment. So I think the short I probably took here was I saw that low and I probably said we're definitely going to go lower than that low, but not too low, right? So probably have 13 risk there. I think I might have just had 9 in this case, which is why I don't think this is the best trade to take. Because if I'm going to have $9 risk, it's really easy for me to get stopped out. But if I have $13 risk, then I have pretty good confidence in this trade and I can, make an exception instead of having the $27 profit here, which is, the guaranteed leg. I can, make an exception and say because we're so aggressive, I mean, we're obviously going to get a little close to discount, right? So this would be a better trade to take, but I think in the moment I probably took the $9 to $27 trade, not recognizing how aggressive these markets are and how my risk to reward has to change for that. And I was definitely using the 15-second here too. So I don't think I was too worried about this dropping even lower. There might have even been a tiny little 15-second SMT, but I'm not really banking on those. So glad I got in and out on a quick trade there because as you can tell, this displacement is not looking good. And we are just dropping even lower now, right? So that low is a little concerning. I would not want to be taking a long, choppy action on top of that. Starting to push lower, and here we go, right? So glad this long was really, really fast. That's what I mean. It's really a scalp in its purest form. Again, we're not even coming close to discount. So this is when you have to do the reversal. You don't want to be taking reversals hoping it's going to go back into your retracement zone. Likely not going to happen, right? So I had one more trade here at 1039, try to do another long. Again, exactly what I mean. You don't want to push your luck with these things. Here's the choppy action, went backwards really fast. Pretty easy to see. I was just hoping that this was going to hold. Obviously didn't. But again, that's why I sized down significantly. Only risked $90 because I said I can make the last push to make our funded account here, or we could just wait for tomorrow, and that's exactly what happened. So no issues there, but I do want to see, is there a time where we do retrace back into a good zone? Because this is so bearish that it makes me sad that I completely missed out on this action for the day, because there were plenty of people that got in here and all they had to do was hold their contract all day, and they were just making thousands and thousands. So now I've reviewed this, over and over. I've gone over, like, I'll know in the future, like, this is an opportunity I may be able to jump on in the future. But for this day, at least, I was a little bummed out that I missed it. But again, we're so close to passing the funded account. I was overall happy with myself. And you do have to pat yourself on the back when it's warranted. So most of the time, I don't like to reward myself at all with any satisfaction because it just feels necessary that I make the progress. But as you can see here, there's really no chance for me to get in. This is a chance, I think, because this leg seems a little plausible. We do need to see some displacement. If I waited, instead of taking this long so quickly, if I had waited for some more bearish displacement, I could have maybe made that small trade using these displacements. But this is broken. There is a small one here. I think that's also broken, though. Let's check the 5-minute really quick, see if there's anything. Nope, that's broken. So there's not much here except a pure retracement that this one happens to go up a little higher than the rest. Not really much indication for me to go in, right? So looking. The action just seems way too bearish for me to get in. It's too risky. I don't want to chase a trade. I made some profit for the day. I think that was my basis for just walking away really early, right? Because you can see here, it's just too much. It's even to the point where I need to go to the 5-minute just to even see a retracement zone because I'm not seeing it. More displacement. We are just dumping all day. It is really a good day for anybody that took a short up here or even up here. Really, really good day because this is 400 hundreds of points down. That's hundreds of points. That's almost 1,000 ticks down. That's crazy. I remember watching a TikTok live at some point and seeing that a guy had contracts for like 10 longs and that he was up $83,000 like during lunchtime. And I was like, holy Christ. Like, in the future, that's the kind of trader I want to be, like being able to jump in knowing that this drop is going to be so crazy that I don't even need to take profit. I just need to wait for the dump to continue and I'll be making that profit on my live account. So, that's something that I can look forward to at least when I walked away from the day. Here's really our only other opportunity, I think. We have a 15-minute fair value gap here. But again, this is like already lunchtime. Orange news is happening right during this time. Where's 1 o'clock? Yeah, so that's the orange news folder coming up right here. We have a 5-minute within this, probably a 1 minute within that. But again, there's so many candlesticks there. It's so much bearish action. It's, it would be hard for me to tell which one do I want to get in on. This one has a triple overlap, so this is kind of my best bet. This retrace is a bit heavy though, as you can tell, and we don't even go lower than this low. This is 3 o'clock. It's getting risky. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong low. This is our low that we're interested in. Again, the 1 minute is so aggressive that I need to use the 5 minute to even get in on a trade here, which is pretty rare. So yeah, here's our last leg. Here's the retracement. Best opportunity here, somewhere within this. And what time is this? 1:30. So this really is our golden power hour trade right here. Very, very aggressive action. So again, we need to be really careful with how we enter here. Let's set it back a little bit so that we're not just cheating and seeing the action. What do I think here? I want to look for an SMT, of course. An SMT would be a really good sign for me so that I don't take too risky of a trade. We want to let some action play, right? So we're already too late at this point, I would think, right? So I would say maybe if it comes back one more time, we definitely don't want to miss our trade. We're going to do probably at these highs. 17 is pretty big risk, but again, it depends on our take profit, right? So if our take profit is here, we can justify having the risk at 19, right? So this is justifiable, but I would not, depending on my account size and stuff, doing this with 5 micros is actually not a bad idea because I'm only risking $190, right? This is essentially my 1 mini trades, but with wider risk and reward. So let's see if we do come back in. We do touch one more time, and then we finally do dump lower. So this was really the only power hour trade to take because after this point, you're going to see we're going to have some aggressive retracement, and it's just going to be too choppy for us, right? You would think maybe this is going to go lower, maybe this will retrace one more time, but I think it definitely will not be. So towards the end of the day, after power hour, things do get kind of choppy. There's some long opportunity here. You can see some lows, higher high, higher low, higher high, but we're short biased for the day. We don't want to be messing with that kind of thing. It's pretty risky to do. And again, we're going to be going back up to our triple, bearish displacement zone. I definitely will not be taking any longs through this zone right here. So again, this is all 15-second action here that maybe we could catch a long on, quick little long. We see this here. So after I have some confirmation, boom, 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 some displacement here, some displacement here. I'm going to make this green. Only then could we maybe take a trade right here. Something like this. Small risk, of course. Nice little TP. 27, right? So we'd be doing this like right here. And yeah, that's really our only opportunity. I would not be going for anything riskier than that. Actually, up here. And then we can widen the risk just a tad bit to maybe 11 points. And yeah, this is pretty much our only opportunity for a long. Because I'm not going to do it over here, right? I'm not going to wait for this. I mean, I don't see any bullish displacement even tested, right? So I think this is our only opportunity for a long here. Does work out. Nice little scalp. After this, it's 3 o'clock. Time's up, right? So I think that's it for the day. This is an example of, when the markets are just pushing up, This is finally what it looks like when the market says it's time to retrace down. It is so aggressive. If you're not there in the beginning, you're not going to be there at all. Look for your little scalp, get in, get out, call it a day. This is a nice little retracement. This is really our nicest retracement of the day with the most confluence. But besides that, the only trades we were even able to get in on in time were just small, long scalps at the start of retracements. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Next video is finally going to wrap up our combine review. And after that, I can start going into our live account trades because I already have 3 days down. And yeah, I hope to see you guys there.